Let me say something that might go against everything you've ever been taught. The moment you start explaining yourself too much, you lose power. It's not because your explanation is wrong. It's not because you're being dishonest. It's because true power never needs to justify itself. Most guys don't get this. They think explaining shows clarity, and clarity is a sign of maturity. But what it actually signals is something deeper. I'm afraid you won. Accept my decision unless I convince you. And the moment that fear creeps in, respect starts leaking out of the room. Think about it. There's a subtle psychological shift that happens when you feel the need to justify yourself. Before you explain, you are the one making a decision. After you start explaining, you're negotiating your right to even make that decision. Once that shift happens, you're no longer leading the interaction. You're just defending your position from inside her emotional frame. This is precisely why truly strong men don't sound loud or argumentative. They sound finished. They don't argue their boundaries. They simply state them. The more words you use to justify a simple decision, the smaller and less significant that decision becomes in the eyes of others. It's a paradox of communication. Now, let's be clear. Men don't over-explain because they're inherently weak. Far from it. They over-explain because they are genuinely trying to be good people. They want to be fair. They want to be understood. They want to be approved of. But here's the tough truth. Attraction and respect are not built on getting approval. They are built on certainty, on a solid, unshakable foundation. Over-explaining is almost always a direct response to one internal fear. What if she misunderstands me? We hate the idea of being seen as the bad guy. But here is the forbidden truth that flips that fear on its head. A woman doesn't need to understand your boundary to respect it. She only needs to feel that you are completely grounded in it. The moment your tone shifts from calm and declarative to pleading and persuasive, your authority collapses. It evaporates right before your eyes. You can feel it happen. Power is lost at a very specific, almost microscopic moment. It's not when you say no. It's when you follow it up with, "Let me explain why." That single sentence sounds so harmless, so reasonable, but psychologically, it's a trap. What it does is place her emotions and her potential reaction above your own decision. You're no longer standing on a principle you believe in. You're essentially asking for permission to stand there. And once a woman senses that your decisions are adjustable based on her reaction, she will start testing them. This isn't a conscious, manipulative plan on her part. It's instinctual. It's human nature to push against a boundary that feels soft and flexible. By explaining, you're inviting that test. Here's something men rarely understand about this dynamic. When you over-explain yourself, you create open loops. Every explanation you offer gives her something new to negotiate with. Every justification you provide invites a counter-argument. Each additional sentence you speak weakens the very frame you're trying to hold. This is why the more you talk, the more resistance you often feel. It's not because she's being difficult. It's because you turned a firm boundary into a casual discussion. And discussions, by their very nature, erase the polarity, the masculine-feminine dynamic that creates attraction and respect. You've moved from a position of leadership to a position of peer-to-peer debate. So what's the alternative? Powerful men don't just disappear. They don't stonewall or become cold and rude. That's not strength. That's avoidance. Instead, they become incredibly brief and direct. They use simple, clear statements like, "That doesn't work for me," or "I've already made my decision," or a simple, "I'm not available for that." Notice what's missing. There's no apology. There's no long-winded explanation. There's no emotional charge behind the words. It's just a calm statement of fact. And here's the beautiful paradox of it all. The less you explain, the more she respects the decision and fills in the gaps herself, usually in your favor. She assumes you have a good reason. Confidence is never proven with a flood of words. It's felt through stillness, through the economy of language. If you never stop the habit of over-explaining, one of two things will inevitably happen. Either you'll become emotionally exhausting to be around because every interaction is a long negotiation. Or, even worse, you'll become predictable and therefore completely ignorable. Men who feel the need to explain everything are unintentionally teaching the people in their lives that their boundaries are temporary, that their decisions are flexible, and that their presence is conditional on approval. And once that lesson is learned, it is incredibly hard to unteach. So, the solution isn't what you think. You don't need better arguments. You don't need more flawless logic. You certainly don't need to find better wording for your long explanations. You just need fewer words. That's it. The next time you make a decision and you feel that powerful urge to explain yourself bubbling up, just pause. Take a breath. Say less. Hold the line. Let the silence do the heavy lifting for you. You'll be amazed at its power. That silence is where your power comes flooding back. Because the man who doesn't feel the need to explain himself is the man everyone instinctively listens to. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.